Sit down. Have a seat. Have a seat. What's going on out there, world? It's your boy, Mr. C. Aaron Henson here. We are here with another episode of our Economic Awareness 101. Today I'm joined by two guests. On my right here, I got
Michael.
And on my left,
Rashawn.
Alright, cool. So we got Mike and Rashawn in the building, and y'all know how we do here. We just gonna kind of shoot the breeze with these two gentlemen, and I'm just gonna throw a topic out there, and then we just gonna jump straight off from there. So, how about that vaccine mandate? Alright, which one of y'all want to talk about it first? Let me know what you think about it, and then how you feel about it.
Oh, me first. Thank you. Well, I'm not really fully for the vaccine, but my reasons are that I personally took the vaccine is because my mother is battling cancer right now. So by any means that she already had COVID when she was in the hospital, but she beat that. But she wasn't in the hospital for COVID. She was in there for something else. But they told her, anybody that's around her now, that her immune system is weak. She can't have people that's not vaccinated around her unless she got to wear a mask 24/7 around her. I don't have a problem with vaccinations. Like I said, I have the flu shot. I have all the shots, from when I was a kid. Think about it. When you was younger, vaccines. It wasn't none of this going on. Tomorrow, I'll go against this, go against that. No. You get vaccinated, you go to school. That's the only way how that works. And this is what's going to happen with this COVID vaccine. It's going to go on the immunizations. I'm letting everybody know right now. It's going to happen. It's going to be mandatory. You can't attend college, elementary, high school, any school without that vaccine. I'm still surviving. I took both shots. I'm going for my booster in January or February. And personally, I like taking shots. Don't mind me. Not like that, but I like taking shots.
Shots. Everybody.
Because I feel that if it's gonna make me feel better, then I'll go for it. I'm all for it.
Cool. What about you, Sean? How you feel about the vaccine mandate?
Man, this vaccine mandate, first I feel like everyone has the choice what they want to put in their body and what they don't. You have the right to tell them no. You don't have to get it. But if you want to participate in other activities, knowing that there's a mandate, there are people causing problems because one corporation is following the mandate. And I've even experienced this working with. I've asked a lady, yo, can I see a vaccination card? She's talking about, I gotta call corporate, I want to talk to your manager. Miss, they all gonna tell you the same thing.
Right.
And it's no disrespect to you. But it's just, if you know that you're not going to do it, then you get what comes with it. You feel me?
Right.
It's not going to be positive in each option you pick.
All right. So I want to say something in regards to something that Mike said earlier, as far as vaccines is something we should be used to because we've been doing it all our lives. I just wanted to cite a point the vaccines that we take for measles, mumps, rubella, whooping cough, chicken pox, even the flu vaccine. These are vaccines that have been tested and tried for years. COVID is something that's fairly new. You understand? So how is it possible that they would have a vaccine developed that fast? That's my first question. And secondly, furthermore, those shots that we call them immunizations. If you are immunized from something, then that means you should no longer be able to catch it. But they are constantly saying every day on the news that people who took the shot are still catching COVID. So I just wanted to throw those two things up and see how you...
Okay, let's take it back in the early 1900s to the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
They did the same situation. They came with a vaccine. They said it wasn't tested. They was injecting these people to kill them. There was a lady, I believe, was on the news. She's been through both the Spanish flu and now through COVID. And she said they did the same thing. When they rushed the vaccine out, they ain't tested. They were just shooting them up to, get rid of it. And the second part was what?
Immunization and people who are still catching COVID even though they're being fully vaccinated.
Perfect example, Colin Powell. Yes, you're right. Perfect example is Colin Powell. He was fully vaccinated even though he had cancer. It was supposed to still help him either way. I don't think the cancer killed Colin Powell. I think it was COVID, to be truthfully told. To me, is to protect yourself from this deadly virus. I mean, common sense. Like me personally, I'm a germaphobic. You know that. Cough, sneeze, just cover your mouth. That's all I ask you. Just cover it up. Immunizations. That's what's the point of the immunizations. Chicken pox. Okay, perfect. Another one. Chicken pox. You get chicken pox, right? Yeah, the chicken pox vaccine. You still get it. Measles, you can still get it if you had the vaccine. The mumps, you can still get it if you had the vaccine. The flu, you can still, people get it when they get the vaccine. So it's a win-win. It depends on your body.
Right.
What's
so
in your
and
how your body at.
Understood. So, and with that being said, it sounds like that's why I kind of was leaning with in when Sean was like, it sounded like he's like pro-choice. You understand? Like, I should have a choice whether I want to take this, because I'm not saying I'm anti-vaccine. You understand? Like, I got the hepatitis vaccine. I got, you understand? Like, there's a whole long list of vaccines I took. When I wanted to enroll in college, they was like, look, you got to go get this shot for meningitis. I had never even heard of meningitis before, you know. But if I wanted to enroll in school and go to school in 10th class, they said this is something I had to take, and you know, so I went ahead and got it. But it's like, that's different because that's something I really wanted to do. You know, I wanted to go to school, and this was part of, you know, I guess the criteria.
Right.
It was required. So, like, but that's my whole thing. I chose, you know, like this thing that they're doing now, they're making it mandated. Like, there's a different, that's the part that I'm hung up on. It's the mandate. The mandate for something that is not even, this is still a trial. You can't convince me that, you can't even call this an effective vaccine.
Right.
Because it's not even shown to be 100% effective. You know, it's safe. They could say that they could say with confidence, yeah, it's safe, because it ain't, nobody literally died from the shot. You know what I mean? However, is it effective? And if it's not 100% effective, then why is it being mandated? That's what I'm trying to get at. Which one of y'all? Okay.
Well, I'm going to take this one back to the 80s. I mean, you know, what happened in the 80s, the AIDS pandemic, and now COVID. COVID is the number one now. AIDS is the number two. I see that with COVID, it's that it was like they rushed it in. They, like you said, trial thing, the vaccines trial, you know, we guinea pigs. But when they had the AIDS pandemic, they had ATZ. That was the first drug out for treating the virus. Didn't work, people getting sick, throwing up, still killing them. So it took time, and I see what you're saying. It takes time. Why they can't do like when they did the medication for HIV and AIDS, took their time. And again, even though people were dying from the disease, they still took their time and to save other people as well. And I see what you're saying, why they had rushed this vaccine in.
Right. Because a vaccine has to go through a vigorous vaccine trial, which means there has to be a study, you understand, done that lets you know, well, we took 100 patients, and out of the 100, and then what about the control group, the 50% that you're supposed to give the vaccine, but it's not the real vaccine, just to see if psychosomatically they can develop these things on their own, because our bodies sometimes can cure ourselves. We don't always need medicine or anything like that. There's some people who can just get their mind to, you know, cure their body. Right. And that's why they're supposed to have a control group. What if we just tell someone they got the vaccine and they really don't got the vaccine? Does it still work? You know, like all of that is part of the trial, and they're not doing a trial. This is the trial, and if it is a trial, then say it's a trial. Don't mandate me to take something that you don't even know at the end of the day. Like, and then what are the long-term effects 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? How is this going to be affecting us? Sean?
Thought about that. Like, you know, you've seen commercials where they tell you, oh, these drugs may have side effects when you take them, you know? And you'll see, oh, if you've gotten this time, you can call them and get a settlement. And it's like, these people, they're trying to help, but you can see how reluctant they are themselves to take their own vaccination, you know? And that's why other people were getting skeptical about what's happening, you know? So, I feel like what it is, first, you told everyone go inside, everything's going to be alright, it's going to die down. Mm-hmm. Now you're telling them, alright, we got this vaccine. No one knows how good and effective it is. There's a vaccine out, and if you take it, it's going to lower your chances of dying.
Right.
Now you're saying that we have to take this for us to be okay, but even though people are taking the vaccination, getting COVID, and dying still, there's no proof of what you're saying.
Right. And that's the whole point, you know, before we move to the next topic, is like, you know, in the beginning, it was like you said, quarantine. That was number one. The only time you quarantine someone is if they're sick. Mm-hmm. So you quarantine everyone as if everyone was sick. And it was like some people didn't. Then you came up with this vaccine and you said, we're not forcing anyone to take it. It's completely voluntary. Take it if you want to. You don't have to. Frontline workers had the first access. You understand, first responders, you know, emergency people. You know, they got the access first. And then, you know, those who wanted to take it took it. And then suddenly it became mandated. Now you have to take it. But before the mandate, they said, if you take the vaccine, you no longer have to wear the mask. Mm-hmm. I remember them saying all of these things. And now people taking the vaccine and still got to wear the mask. So if I got to wear the mask anyway, I should have a choice as to whether I'm going to take this or not, you know? But we're not going to beat the dead horse here. Let's move into our next topic, peer pressure. Let's start with you this time, Sean. Peer pressure. What does it mean to you and how do you feel about it?
Peer pressure. Sometimes people feel like they don't fit in. So other people will see that. It's obvious when someone is trying to fit in. So they'll use that against them to try to peer pressure them into doing things that they may not want to do, you know?
And how you feel about that?
I feel like I believe in karma. You reap what you sow. Whatever you do, it comes back around to you, you know? I remember I was peer pressured back in like elementary school to be watched while they vandalized the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And like, to me, what is it gonna do if I wasn't gonna do it? You know, I just go back to class. It's not gonna be in trouble.
Right.
Feel me? But it's my cousins, my friends. No, I'ma chill. You know, what happened? I had to sit back with them and clean the lunchroom for a week and a half. You know.
How did that make you feel?
Yo, I was tight, but I learned the lesson. Not only that, it brought up that working courage in me. After that, I wanted to start working more and earning for myself and not getting caught up in ridiculous incidents that make no sense for my character, you know?
Gotcha. All right, Mike, how about you? Peer pressure, what does it mean to you and how do you feel about it?
Peer pressure is a mother. Boop. Peer pressure means to me, basically, you're forced to do something that you don't want to do. Bring it back for me, being peer pressured. I believe I was in elementary school, and I never forget, we were supposed to be that's when after school programs we had, you know, stay after school, do the homework, you know, whatever. So me and a group of friends decided they was going to go through the floors and tear up the bulletin boards. Okay. They told me, I got peer pressure, and they told me if I don't do it, they're going to jump me. So I had no other choice but to do it. So, you know me, running around, ripping bulletin boards, and I literally ripped the boards up. And I got peer pressure into taking the blame for it the next day because the principal came to the classroom and called us out, and they all ratted me, pointed to me, and I was basically peer pressured. They was like, you take it or you're going to be fucking jazz me. Mm-hmm. So I know I'm taking the fall for it because I didn't want to get jumped.
So overall, this is overall it's basically like a negative thing. There's no like, is there ever an instance that you could think of where peer pressure is a good thing? Either one of y'all?
Yeah, you know, sometimes you need to be pressured to